What is up, everybody? Welcome back. My name's Clay Frost. Today, I'm going to be sharing a very important message for you, and for you specifically. Okay, the message is that positivity is not enough. I'd even go far personally to say positivity is never enough, and we'll go on that idea in just a sec. So, first and foremost, why? Why am I saying this? Well, in my experience, especially most recently, I've been bombarded with the message to just be positive, just be positive. And I'm pretty sure you have too. In fact, it's very, I don't know if the word trendy, it's a hot topic kind of buzzword right now is positivity. And I think there is merit in positivity. Don't get me wrong, that's not what I'm saying. It's a great step in the right direction, but it's only a step, and that's all. Okay? So I'll give you three reasons why it's not enough. And the first reason is because positivity or negativity, whichever way you swing, whichever way your attitude is, positive or negative, ultimately you're going to ignore reality. The high percentage of people who think in terms of positive or negative are just ignoring reality because that's what they're being told to do. They have a situation, they said, well, just be positive about it. And so they think about all the positive things, all the fluffy, the rainbows and butterflies side of it, instead of just facing the reality. Guess what? Life is tough. Things aren't always rainbows and butterflies. Things are tough, but guess what? I believe you are too. So that's number one. Is positivity and negativity, both of them ignore the reality of situations. And that's so important to face the reality because it's the only way that we can truly get better and truly make lasting progress. The second reason is because the idea of positive and negative, the attitudes, the thought processes, the self talk, all of them create a cycle from positive to negative and then back to positive because we should be positive, but then things suck and so we get negative again. And then we just have this never ending cycle. And that's something that happens, and I've met and I've talked to so many people. In fact, the majority of people that I talk to have this cycle. Even high performing people, like this cycle is never ending. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to come up with a thought process that will change that. And we'll get to it in just a sec. I'll tell you all about it. The third reason why positivity is never enough, positivity is not enough, is because it requires us to judge the situations that we're in and our thoughts. And I think ultimately high performance, there's no time for judging. There's no time for judgment to decide, oh, that's good, that's bad, positive, negative. It is just what it is. And we have to deal with it as such. So really, the judgment doesn't matter. The judgment just distracts you, it takes up your time, and it distracts your thoughts. Three reasons why positivity is not enough. Again, number one is we're not dealing with reality. Two is it gets us in this cycle, this poor thought pattern, the poor thought thinking habits. And third is it requires us to judge the situation and our thoughts, which ultimately is just a waste of time, our time in the first place. Now, again, I want to make a very clear disclaimer here that I'm not against positivity. Again, I think it's a great step in the right direction. But it doesn't take you very far. I'll tell you what will. Instead of thinking in terms of positivity or negativity, think in terms of productive and unproductive. Okay? Those two will drive more results and will drive higher performance and higher execution than any other thoughts. And I'll tell you why. Productivity, if you ask yourself, was that thought productive? You have to think about two separate things. Number one, you have to think about, well, what am I trying to achieve? It requires that you have that thought. If you think, was that productive? Well, what are you trying to achieve? And the second thing, it has to draw on your experience and your knowledge of, well, is this the best way to get there? Is this the best thing that can influence the outcome? And if it's not, well, then it's unproductive, right? So you have two things that happen, that very important things that happen the moment you start asking, was that thought productive or was that thought unproductive? And then it's quite simple. If it's productive, roll with it. Start planning, start making it happen. And if it's unproductive, well, let's switch it. Let's make it productive. And then roll with it and make plans, and we'll go through that whole process. So, and I'll be more specific about that in another video a little bit later down the road. Now, again, train yourself. You're always training your mind, period. Whether you like it or not, you're always training your brain. So train it to think in terms of productive, so you can become more productive. You can produce fruits of your labors unless you're being unproductive. Think in terms of productive or unproductive instead of positive and negative, so that you can produce, so that you can move forward, so that you're not stuck in this cycle over and over, so that you are moving forward and you're progressing, you're executing, and you're performing at your highest possible potential. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.